artificial intelligence preparing to clone and reprogram our minds? This is a question that I am thinking, and I will share my thoughts with you about it. I'm going to be going through some specific things that have just common sense, and I'll share with you some experiences that have led me to some feelings about AI. For those of you, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Thunder Wizard YouTube channel. This is the gathering place for all 5D starseeds and light workers. In order to truly evolve beyond our current state, it is important that we question our reality and then change it. If you like what we do on this channel, please go to the website thunderwizard.com and subscribe. Subscribing at above the free level is what allows me to continue to make these videos. You can see all of the different things available at the shop as well. And my books can be found at michaelwilliamdenny.com. If you want to support me directly, you can go to support.thunderwizard.com, follow the instructions there. You can also just click the $ below. Every bit of support helps me, and this is a difficult time for everybody, myself included, so I really appreciate all of the support. So, AI, preparing to clone and reprogram your mind. Am I overreacting? Am I overthinking this? So, you can see I used AI to generate this thumbnail. For some reason, the program or the website, it's a free website that I use, and for some reason, whenever I type in bald, 55 years old, goatee, it thinks it makes somebody that looks like me. So it puts a mustache on me, but apparently that's, according to them, that's the general, I must have the general basic look of all humans. I didn't tell them to go off of my picture, but it's very convenient for me that website, for the most part, creates pictures of me. As you saw in the beginning, I'm grateful for the support. So my expenses have gotten larger and my income has gotten smaller. And part of the reason for that, I think, is just because my YouTube channel it's just not popular for whatever reason. I'm just not getting enough new people coming in. If I had millions of views, I'm quite sure that I would be doing just fine in terms of supporting myself. So I'm currently looking at side hustles, and I've already got one, that I'm now set up to start doing again, which, it's not something it gives me a great deal of joy, but I've done it in the past, and it's kept me, put food on my table, and that is to do phone rune psychic readings. I enjoy doing it, and so I've got that all lined up, and then so I'm looking at other things that I can do. Are there other things I can do for my channel? Other ways, and I was looking into some videos on YouTube, tutorials on how the new apparently there's some new things happening with YouTube, and people are making all kinds of money, and so I started looking into it, and I bumped into one video, and this guy was talking about using I can't remember the name of it, Poppy AI or something like that. And I went, okay, let's see what that's about. And it turns out that what this guy is doing, he's using this website, using this AI, and what's happening is that he's basically not creating anything. And the way this website works, it's a service, I guess. You got to pay for it. The way it works is that you can take one of your videos and give it the link, and it will instantly, watch a video and figure out how you speak. Basically your thinking patterns, your speech patterns, the way you interact, all that kind of stuff. And then what he does is he goes and finds another video, and he may not even know anything about the video. Like, he may know nothing about the subject, but he'll find one that has gone viral and has millions of views. He'll then take that video, and it might even be like an instructional video. In fact, he showed an example of what he was using, and it was a video that had very specific instructions. Somebody who had spent their life, studying something and mastering something and putting their experience and their mastery into a video to help others. So it was something he knew nothing about, and he took that and he told this AI program, rewrite this video in my communication style. And boom, it put that together. And then he has all this data from people who have interacted with him on his channel, and he plugs that in. And so he asks AI to tell him where their pain points are. In other words, he's trying to find out where their weaknesses are so that he can get them engaged and perhaps even sell them on things. Find out when are they willing to buy, how much are they willing to spend, and basically using AI to figure out everybody's desires, their needs, their weak points. And then he turns around and he makes a video. None of it is coming from him. So what he does is this thing will write a script for him. It will even give him how it's figured out how he communicates. Like, he'll say bro this, or he says, he'll use these certain curse words, or he'll say listen, look here, here's what I'm trying to say, here's the point. It'll find all the ways that he communicates, and then it will create it for him in his way of speaking. And then what he does is he turns the camera on and he literally reads the script. He's created nothing. None of it has come from him. He hasn't done any study or any work. The only thing he's done is give personal information about himself and allowed AI to clone him. It's cloned his mind. And apparently he does very well. So thankfully I'm not that greedy that when I saw that, I went, I can't do that. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I wasn't creating what I put my name and my voice behind. So I saw that, and that really bothered me. And it reminded me of something that somebody said not too long ago, which is that, and this was somebody who knows about phones and phone technology, and was talking about how AI is being integrated in the new phones. Like, for instance, the new Apple phone, I don't recommend you get it. As you know, these technologies are completely, totally monitoring everything you say and do. We'll get into that. But worse than that, what it's doing is it's taking everything that you say and do, and it is creating a personality for you to interact with. And if you've seen any of the commercials for the new iPhone AI companion and the Android AI companions, people are getting life advice, and they're putting this in the commercials. People are sitting there talking to their Android phone about how to raise their children. And the phone isn't talking like AI. Well, the studies say the best thing to do. No, it's like, well, have you tried talking this way to your son? And you know what else you could do is sometimes kids like that. What about this? How do you feel about that? And it's like a counselor. It's your best friend. It's a mentor. And people, it's designed to get you to interact with that and to share as much of your personal, emotional, psychological self with it as possible, so that it will know exactly how it can be your best friend. And if you don't think there isn't somebody on the other end of that, compiling all of that and asking AI, just like this guy was doing, he was taking information, and this is just little information from stuff he gleans off of his YouTube channel from people who watch him and interact with him. He's put that in, and he's finding out all their weak points. If you don't think that there isn't huge numbers of people watching and asking AI, okay, John Smith at 241 First Street, how can I best sell him this product? If you don't think that AI is taking all of that information and using it, I've got an untested medical procedure I'd like to sell you. So let's just go ahead and get into it. But the word that was used specifically about what's going on with these phones and with AI, the phrase that was used is the guy said, AI is getting you to farm out your mind, meaning you no longer have the self-agency to think creatively. This guy who I just shared, a young guy, everybody's got to make a living. I'm not judging him, and he knows what he knows, and he's doing what he's doing. I mean, I'm old enough to know that AI is just some brand newfangled crazy thing. I remember when you had to write stuff down with a pencil. That's how you communicated, and you had to hand somebody the note. You had to put it in the mail, and that's the best you could do. So some 15, 20-year-old kid, he doesn't know any better. AI is, he doesn't know what the world is like without the internet. I can remember, and this was years ago, I can remember somebody was talking about, doesn't matter who, he was talking about somebody and saying, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about because he claims that he did this and this happened. And then he goes on to say, and I Googled it and it didn't come up, therefore it didn't happen. In that guy's mind, if it's not something you can search on the internet, then it can't be real. You understand that's backwards, right? You understand that real physical life is the real thing, at least in the third dimension. And the internet is not. The internet is not God. The internet doesn't know everything that's ever happened. And that's even assuming, not even taking into account the fact that the internet is highly regulated and censored so that you only get the information that you want to get. So this, 20-year-old guy, it's not weird for him to farm out all of his creativity to have AI create videos in his voice. Now, that doesn't even go into the whole cloning of your voice. This is something that worries me. I mean, I don't lose sleep over it, but it's, I have not. I mean, well, the truth is that if anybody wanted to clone my voice, it would be very easy because I'm all over the internet. So even your phone, if you talk on the phone, they have access. They can access you anywhere. I know for a fact I'm being, just to give you an example, I know that I am being, my speech, my conversations when I make these videos is being recorded by the smart TV over there. My phone constantly monitoring me. My computer constantly monitoring me. The browsers that I use constantly monitoring what you say. If you say something out loud, try this. People have done this, especially with Google Chrome. Have Google Chrome open and just start talking about a product that you want, and then start searching on the net. And what's going to happen is almost immediately ads for exactly what you're talking about are going to come up. It means that there's a program in Google that's listening to everything you say and do. Forget about watching every website you go to, but everything you say and do. I mean, you're being monitored all the time. You're being videoed all the time. Those are, I know it sounds tinfoil hattish. I would have thought so, but I've seen it. Just another example. If I go to the store and I get some vitamin C, there's a certain brand that I get, and it's happened every time. I will go to the store, I will get vitamin C, and I'll use one of my ATMs. So obviously it's being recorded somewhere, what I bought, obviously. So that means this is what has to happen for this to be true. It means that the supermarket, when I put my thing on and it sees what I bought, that information is immediately going into the cloud, onto the net, immediately. How do I know that? Because when I come back to my house 5 minutes later, within 20 minutes, if I sit down, sometimes I like to watch YouTube on my smart TV. Now I don't log in. I go in as a guest, but it doesn't matter. It knows what address, Roku knows what address my TV is at and who I am. And within 5-10 minutes, I will see that brand of vitamins pop up. And it only happens when I, go and buy that particular brand. So whatever you think might be going on, it's far, far worse than you can think. Now, again, I don't lose any sleep over it. This is just the reality that we live in. We've been living in it a long time. So, I'm not going to let it bother me. But I just want to let you know how deep this is. So what we're talking about with AI isn't some new thing that's coming out that's helpful. Again, I use it. I use it to, use these thumbnails. That's one thing. But again, this other guy that I'm talking about, who literally farms out his personality, his creativity, farms it out to AI so that AI can write for him. And he even went on, he was bragging about this, that he was using ChatGPT to do all of his homework, to do in high school, to do all of his book reports. And he was basically making fun of how stupid his friends were, who would spend 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours. They'd read the book and then spend hours writing their essay, and like they're a bunch of schmucks, and he doesn't do anything. He just gets the title of the book and tells AI to write a book report for him. And then he goes and he gets a B, and he's proud of this. And I'm thinking, so your friends who actually learned something are idiots, but you're smart because you farmed it out to somebody else, to a computer program? All right, so there's the background of my thought process. So let me see, I got 2 sets of notes here. I've got the one that I'm going to show you. And all right, so yeah, I've already gone through the list of that. Everything electronic is designed to completely invade your privacy. Phones, televisions, cars, your car. My car is, I bought it used, it's 10 years old. People are buying new cars now, and they are being monitored. In fact, multiple GPS units. In fact, aftermarket GPS tracking units are being put into cars. So you might have, if you buy a new car, you're going to have all kinds of stuff already in there to track you and monitor you. But on top of that, there's going to be 3 or 4 other GPS tracking units in there. And when this guy found it, because his car was malfunctioning, he found it and he saw that it was an aftermarket GPS unit, not the one that was put in there. He went back to the dealership and he told the guy, he said, "Hey, you guys put this in there." First he asked me, he said, do you put anything in there? I said, "No, we don't do anything." And he says, I found this. And they said, well, only a few people get to see that. And he's like, it doesn't matter how many people. My thought was, so there's a small group of people who have a very specific purpose, and the fact that you're lying about it means something. It's very suspicious. Who is tracking people with new cars like this? I had an iPhone a few years ago. In fact, I didn't even want to get an iPhone. The whole time I was married, from 2003 to 2013, My ex-wife wanted to text me, and I didn't have texting capability. I just had the flip phone. That's all I wanted. I thought that texting was, if you can believe it, I thought that texting was rude because it was invasive. I don't want somebody beeping me and then, if you want to talk to me, you can call me and I'll pick up the phone or I won't. You have a message, leave a voice message. That's my thought. 2013, I finally went and got an iPhone. And then when I came back from Australia the last time that I went, I came into the US and I tried to use the maps and it wouldn't work. And it's because I was being forced to upgrade. I had to get a newer iPhone, which of course is going to have greater ability to track you and interact with you and all kinds of stuff like that. So, I wait until I absolutely can't use my phone anymore until I get another one. And I'm looking forward to the day when I can walk away from all this stuff. But, most people can't wait to get the new iPhone or the new whatever the heck it is. And you have no idea that every time some new technology is brought out, it's used to monitor you, to track you, to film you, to listen to you, to listen to your voice. And if you don't think that information isn't being stored somewhere to be used at some point later, again, I have a bridge to sell you. All right, so let's get to the list here. So this is important. So what is the ultimate goal of AI? So at the top, all consumer technology begins as a military weapon. That wasn't true when I was a kid. Televisions weren't that. But our smartphones, the internet, all the stuff that we use to make our life more convenient, you can be sure that all of those things were first originally created by the military, top secret military, and if it has been released to the public, it means that they are choosing to release that because it allows them to monitor you. So all consumer tech sold to civilians is currently used to monitor, control, manipulate, and enslave the population. AI is gathering information on human psychology. So I think I mentioned it. I was talking about the new iPhone AI companions. Did we talk about that? People are using the new phone, the brand new one. I don't recommend you get it. The new Android, I don't recommend you get it. Because those AIs are very advanced and people are already having personal relationships with the AI on their phone. If you've ever done, like just say using Chat GPT or something else, have you ever noticed that it always asks you a question? And it's not asking a question, like, did I do this right? It'll ask you a question about what you think or what you want. Something like that. It needs more information. The reason why AI, Chat GPT, for example, I know there's other ones, but the reason why they're so addicting is because they learn to mold themselves to you. Just like that guy, that guy is consciously doing it, and he knows that the AI is going to mold itself to him. I first started watching that video going, oh great, I'm going to find a way to get a good side hustle going because my channel is starting to, and I need to pay bills. And my first thought was, oh wow, AI, I can just spend 5 or 10 minutes, and as I started watching what was happening, the thought of that, farming out your mind and your creativity to a program that is designed. It is designed to continuously learn and grow. Continuously. And its main goal is to understand your psychology. Again, look at how much AI is being released. Remember, all consumer technology begins as a military weapon. If you don't think that all of the AI there's so much of it now that is being released to you to use, to make money off of, to help make decisions, to write your book reports for you. If you don't think that that program, which is designed to learn as much about you as it possibly can, you know that. If you don't think that information isn't being stored and sent to somebody, I think there's going to be a sad awakening for people. If this 3D world continues the way that it is, there's no two ways about it. This is where this is headed. I could be wrong. I'm just putting two and two together here. Because the one thing that is true about our current world is that the powers that be do not do anything, nor do they offer anything to us unless there's going to be some huge payback on their end. Huge. Look at what happened in 2020. Remember all the free gifts that they were giving to you? Normally you have to pay out the wazoo to get some kind of similar product, but they wanted you to have it. Not only did they want to give it to you for free, but they threatened to take away your job and your livelihood if you didn't take that free gift. Somebody's benefiting from that. They never do that unless there's something in it for them. All right, so AI is gathering information on human psychology. AI companions have become indistinguishable from humans. This is the thing that's one of the things that's frightening me about this. You know, Siri, I've never used that. I'm weird on that kind of stuff. I've always been weird about that. But, Siri is just Siri. Siri, how far is this? How many of this? You're just getting information and it's a computer voice. Or it's, printing it out for you. But the new AI companions are indistinguishable from people. You can't tell by listening to them. They sound, normal. I mean, just to give you some more background, there was another thing I was looking at, again, for YouTube videos, and I started thinking about my own channel. There are people out there making money, and what they're doing is they are translating people's videos into other languages. And so people will do that and then charge, the YouTuber money to translate their entire hour-long video. And I thought, hey, that'll be interesting. Maybe I can start another channel in Hindi or Spanish or something, and I can just upload, make videos, and then have it go to other countries and blah, blah, blah. Until I found out that what's going to happen is it might clone your voice, and it will take the what you say, and it will sync it up to the video, so it'll make it look like that you're speaking another language in time. And again, I'm thinking about this, and I keep thinking about deep faking. There's really nothing. Whenever you see a video now, it's very hard. I mean, it would not be impossible for somebody to deep fake me or anybody else. Just right now, me speaking on this video. If somebody wanted to, they could get access to this, get access to my voice. They could, take deep fake me, and AI is getting so good that it's hard to distinguish from reality. If it has this capability, do you honestly think that it's not going to be used, or that it hasn't already been used? All right. So AI companions become indistinguishable from humans. It is logical to assume that all human AI interactions are being recorded and used to gain further access to the human mind. It's bad enough that this stuff can be used to clone your voice, clone how you look, create videos, deepfake videos. It's bad enough that it can be used to gain gather information about you, figure out your how it can sell you on certain things, how it can control you and manipulate you. The worst part is, though, AI is learning how to become human. It's learning to create a psychology. But unlike me and you, we go through our lives with our psychology, but we're looking to just experience life and react to it. AI isn't looking to experience life and react to it. AI is programmed to voraciously study and understand you from a psychological perspective. Its goal is to completely understand you, interact with you, and as we've seen, do tasks for you to get you dependent on them. The guy that I was just talking about, he's a YouTube creator and he's doing very well. And he is dependent upon AI to create for him. In fact, it is him. It is taking a facsimile of him and creating videos based on other people's work, and it's cloning his thought processes, his speech patterns, and creating, videos. And if he cloned his voice, he could take that and say, write a video for me based off this guy's video and put it in my voice. It wouldn't be impossible to say, and create an AI version of me speaking it and have me out in a field in the mountains somewhere. That is absolutely, completely doable. And watch, that will become available soon. And people will pay. People will pay to have AI. They will farm out everything about themselves. Look at Meta. Meta hasn't gone anywhere, thankfully. But when it came out during, the lockdowns, remember? Meta was saying, come into our virtual reality world. You never have to leave home. You can go to the office as a gorilla or an elephant or a fairy, and then you can interact with your friends, and you can, trying to get you to live in this virtual reality, while AI completely takes over for you. And people are going to want to farm themselves out so they don't have to do any work. There's another thing that's been going on. I heard about it, and I don't know where that is. This might have been a couple of years ago, but there's these people could get AI girlfriends, virtual girlfriends. And so I don't know if it was a website or what the heck it was, but you'd go and you would get this virtual girlfriend, and you would interact with it, and it would start to get to know you and figure out what you wanted. And it would do things like text you, how are you today? I was thinking about you, and you're so good at this, and whatever. And it would react like a girlfriend. If you didn't text it back, her feelings would get hurt, and she might get upset, she might get angry, and then you fight and you make up. And there were guys that were having real emotional relationships with these AI created girlfriends that were designed to do just that. And they learn about you. And there were guys that was more real to them. They couldn't wait to get home so that they could talk to their AI girlfriend. I think it's still going on. And then there were some really sick guys that would get an AI girlfriend and then abuse them and try and see if they could get them to, virtually unalive themselves. Even that is a form of intimacy for a very sick person. But the bottom line is that this is designed to get you so that you are dependent on this non-existent program. And that would be bad enough if it weren't for the fact that these programs are designed to learn as much about you as they possibly can and to emulate you. It is seeking to emulate you And if you don't think that there aren't people that have access to that information and are going to use it, again, this technology is not released freely to the public. I mean, a lot of it is free. It's released freely to the public. And if you don't think, it costs money. Somebody's paying money to put this out there for free. And if you don't think, again, there's no free lunch here. The powers that be in this world do not give out anything for free unless they're going to get something out of your rear end. So it's logical to assume that all human AI interactions are being recorded and used to gain further access to the human mind. As people become more dependent on AI, they are farming out their mind and thinking to AI until we cannot think for ourselves. And this is the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is that you will be reduced to simply being a body that will do what it is told, when it is told, how it is told. And it won't work, of course, but that's the ultimate goal. And it reminds me of, if you saw the movie 1984, of course, based off the book, the George Orwell book, and a much more rudimentary version where they would go into the little video booth, and there would be, Big Brother there, and then there would be the recording, that wasn't really listening to them, and people confessing, their fears and their doubts, like we do or like Catholics do to a priest. And again, if you don't think somebody was taking down notes about all the things that you said you were doing wrong, it's like that. It is Big Brother. AI is on its way to become Big Brother, Big Sister, Big Girlfriend, Big Boyfriend, Big Daddy, Big Mommy. May not be there now, but this is where it's headed when I'm seeing what I'm seeing. And again, is AI in and of itself evil? I don't think so. I think it's just a tool. It's a tool like any other computer program. But there are people behind it. It's the people behind it who program it that have me worried. And to see what I saw today, people completely, willingly, happily bragging about it, farming out their mind and their creativity, their thinking. I mean, it was bad enough. Again, I'm old enough to remember, and it still bothers me. I mean, I hate autocorrect. I hate it. I spent years in school learning how to spell and put grammar, and to have somebody do it for me is annoying, but to know that there are people out there that don't know where to put a comma. They don't know how to spell a word. I mean, it's so bad now. There or there, your or your, and there are people that literally don't know the difference and don't care. And again, that was something that didn't, and when I read articles from journalists and they're misspelling things right and left. I mean, when I was a kid, there were editors, and if you misspelled something in a newspaper article, you could lose your career over that. The people nobody cares anymore. They're completely, totally farming out, and everything again is losing its value. So these videos that this guy is creating that might go viral, there's no value to them because there's nobody behind them. It is a facsimile. The videos that he makes are a facsimile of him making a video. And he's proud because he's making money and he's not putting a lot of effort into it. And this is, and it's happening, even in music. I mean, it's a thing where there's, people are flipped out when they watch, live music from the 70s when there was no such thing as auto-tune. And people are like, back in the day, people really had to sing. And it's like, what, this is news to you? So people don't now. I mean, I'm not that great of a singer, but I'm sure I could go into a studio, and if they use auto tune and whatever the hell, they could make me sound amazing. And it's a lie. It's fake. And it means I don't have to work that hard to learn a craft. I don't have to be involved. I don't have to create. That's bad enough. But think about down the road. Anyway, I think this is where AI is headed, and I think it was the original purpose of AI. Because something this powerful would not have been released to the public if there wasn't a plan and an agenda to use it to take more out of you. All right, I'll leave it there. So again, I hope I haven't hurt anybody's feelings. Again, AI is a tool. It's not like it's in and of itself it's evil, but I think that it's potentially very destructive if people don't wake up and realize, where this society wants to go. What people call the permanent state. Where they want to take this world. That's why what we're doing, our work with the meditations, with the interdimensional meditations, and with the personal empowerment and the spiritual progress, why that is more important than ever. Anyway, that's it. I'll leave it there for now. Thank you, my friends. Again, you know what to do if you want to support the channel. You can click on the $ below. You can go to thunderwizard.com and subscribe. You can also go to the shop, look at all of the practices and teachings there. You can support me personally by going to support.thunderwizard.com. Follow the directions. My books can be found at michaelwilliamdenny.com. Thank you so much, my friends. I love you. Please be very good to yourselves, and I will talk to you very soon.